Pedal Steel by Dan Dugmore. You ever heard of him? He did all the Linda Ronstadt stuff in all that beautiful, and then James Taylor and all that years ago. Beautiful player.
Welcome back to the program. The remarkable talents of our next guest on display for you. Marc Jordan singing right there from the latest CD.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Crucifix in Dreamland is the CD.
Crucifix in Dreamland.
Yes.
Okay, I gotta ask, where do you get that from? You don't answer?
You know, it's a kind of a funny story. Years ago, like in the 70s, I was walking in New York, and there was this little basketball court, and guys playing, and there was a little Spanish girl with a tattoo of a crucifix on her arm, and a tattoo of a crucifix on her arm, and I just I thought, wow, these families have come to America, and it's their dream, and I just put it together with this wonderful tattoo.
Okay. Well, I mean, I had to ask because it's such a unique title for an album. I mean, it's just,
It's a crazy title.
It's a crazy title. How you been?
I've been good.
Speaking of crazy, we had your buddy Ian Thomason last week. He is telling us, threatening us that you're going to bring Lunch with Alan in here, and we're going to launch your listen to tunes from your Christmas
record. Oh, well, that'd be fun.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah. Wouldn't it?
Yeah, and to fondue people at the same time.
Yeah, fun and fondue.
Yeah, man.
Marc walks in. We had fun. By those of you who just tuned in,
man.
2 segments ago, we had the restaurant called The Melting Pot. It's all fondue. So he came in here, and there's an odor, a distinct odor, and I said, "You missed the fondue." He said, "Geez, I thought," I walked in here, I said, "There was a cheesy smell. I didn't know if it was food or just a show." And you could be right on both courses.
Cheese will kill you.
I didn't realize, and you've been in here 2 or 3 times, I didn't realize that you studied film.
Yeah.
And was that your original goal?
Well, I'm just horribly dyslexic, so I had to choose something that was visual. And
are you serious?
I am serious.
Okay.
And even I couldn't even study music at university because I can't keep music like stable on the page. When I look at it, it just floats around. Anything with a stick and a ball, like a P, a Q, a B, a D, or notes, just move around. So
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm asking, saying really, like you would lie to me.
No, I wouldn't lie to you.
No. Really?
No, I would not lie.
He thinks there's a punchline coming.
No, there is no. Not from me, there isn't. That's for sure.
The cheese has gone to your heart.
Well, I just find that fascinating that a man who makes his living as a musician can't properly look at notes.
I can't even really read. I mean, I can read, but I don't remember what I read, but it's sort of informed my style of songwriting because when I would read a book, I would get kind of caught on the music of the language rather than the meaning of it, because my brain doesn't want to take those symbols and make any sense out of it. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
It makes creates its own logic, and so that's how I learned to write songs, and they are very non-linear. I don't know if you ever listen to a lyric, but they are kind of non-linear, and that's because my reading is...
But when you write a song, I mean, don't you have to do a score, like with the
No.
final lines and a treble clef and all that?
No,
No.
I let guys like Bill do that.
Yeah, I hear he's pretty good at that.
Yeah, he is good.
Yeah. But an interesting thing today, I was reading from Jim Webb,
Yeah.
the great writer, MacArthur's partner,
wonderful.
talking about how this art is being lost to technology.
Yeah.
And that people just piece together things rather than sit down and compose a story and tell the whole thing. And you spend an amazing amount of time crafting.
Yeah. And you know what? That's interesting you say that, Bill, because I was doing that too. Like I was working on computers and stuff. And then Dan Hill said, when I wanted to do this record, Crucifix in Dreamland, he said, you know, go down to Nashville and just get players and play the record. And don't do it on Pro Tools.
Thank goodness.
And you know what? I have to thank him for that because I did.
Well, you got a guy on the slide guitar.
Yeah,
Where's
Dan Dugmore, yeah.
Ronstadt?
All that Ronstadt stuff in the 80s and James Taylor too, a ton of stuff. And
Sorry, go ahead.
now he lives in Nashville.
I was going to say it must, and you can answer this question as well. I mean, it must make a big difference when you're performing, when you're singing, when you're performing with live musicians versus keyboards. Like, don't you get you can almost feel that, can't you?
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's a lot riskier, and you know what you're going to get with a computer, but you don't know what you're going to get with guys in a band. We're players. You're never surprised by a computer unless it doesn't work. But you're always surprised by wonderful players.
But you're also in one of the best music communities in the world from the fact that is where the songwriters live.
Yeah.
And they have a community and they share together and they come. Now, did you experience that while you were there?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really write down there much, but they do it so much, like they're in the studio so much that any players you put together, it's like a band because they've all worked together so much. And you know, Bill, you feed off each other's energy, and they know how to build tracks. And I was just down there 3 weeks ago, and we cut another record, and with my producer Chris Bilton, and we did the same thing, and we got these wonderful players, and part of Bonnie Raitt's band, and they were just great.
We'll take a break. We've got to update the traffic. We're going to come back more with Marc Jordan in a moment. 1:46, Newstalk 1010, time saver traffic.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff, Marc.
Collectors are down to a single lane from the 400 to the 409. The collector lanes are
Yeah,
closed
no,
on the
it was
409 there,
so much
that means you'll
fun.
be forced onto the 409.